Did you know there's a way to invest where you can make money and save the planet at the same time? Sounds too good to be true, right? But it's not. In 2025, ESG investments surpassed $1 trillion, and that number's only growing. But here's what nobody tells you. While you think sustainable investing doesn't make money, big investors are profiting heavily from green companies. Today, I'm going to show you how ESG isn't just about being nice, it's the future of money. And if you get in now, you're decades ahead. Because this isn't just a trend, it's a revolution. Let me ask you a question. If you could get the same return investing in clean energy or investing in dirty oil, which would you choose? Most people would say clean energy, obviously, but for years we were taught that to make money, you had to leave ethics aside. That profit and purpose can't coexist. But that changed. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. Basically, it's investments in companies that protect the environment, treat people with respect, and have ethical and transparent governance. And no, this is not charity, it's smart business. Because companies that destroy the planet, they're being fined, boycotted, and eventually will go broke. But companies that adapt, these will dominate the next 50 years. And investors who understand this early will get very rich. So pay attention, because I'm going to show you what ESG really is, why it's exploding, and how you can invest in it now. Let's get straight to the point. ESG isn't new, but what is new is that now there's real money behind it. ESG has three pillars: environmental, companies that reduce carbon emissions and use renewable energy; social, companies that treat employees with dignity and promote diversity; and governance, financial transparency and business ethics. Now you might be thinking, okay, but does this make money? Yes, a lot. Studies show that companies with high ESG scores have lower risk of collapse, higher customer loyalty, and access to cheaper capital. Why? Because banks and investors want sustainable companies. And the timing? Perfect. In 2025, green bonds will surpass $1 trillion. ESG funds manage trillions. And 90% of millennials and Gen Z want their investments to be sustainable. What changed? First, consumers are boycotting bad companies. Second, governments are forcing regulations. The European Union has heavy fines for those who pollute. Third, institutional investors woke up. BlackRock publicly said ESG is essential. And fourth, climate change costs real money. Natural disasters cost billions. Non-adapted companies lose money. This isn't ideology, it's math. Two energy companies. Company A invests in coal. Cheap now, but in 10 years could be bankrupt because of regulations and boycotts. Company B invests in solar. Expensive now, but in 10 years, dominating the market. Which do you choose? So, where are the biggest opportunities? Renewable energy is exploding. Solar, wind, batteries. Solar energy costs drop 90% in 15 years. Governments invest in trillions. Companies like Nextera Energy, First Solar, Enphase are dominating. Electric vehicles too. The European Union banned combustion cars by 2035. Tesla, Rivian, ChargePoint. The future of transportation doesn't use gasoline. Green bonds are another opportunity. Governments and companies issue bonds to finance sustainable projects. You lend money, receive interest, competitive returns, low risk, huge demand, sustainable agriculture and food tech, lab-grown meat, vertical farming, beyond meat, impossible foods. Traditional agriculture is 25% of global emissions. Population growing, land shrinking, technology solving this, and circular economy, companies that transform waste into product. TerraCycle, Loop Industries. Plastic waste is a global crisis, and innovation is creating new materials. There's also ReFi, regenerative finance, blockchain plus sustainability, tokenization of carbon credits, NFTs that plant trees. It's the future and it's just beginning. Okay, you're convinced. How to invest? The easiest way is through ESG ETFs. Funds like iShares, MSCI, US ESG, Vanguard ESG US stock. These are funds that select only companies with good ESG scores. You buy like any ETF. Low fees, instant diversification. If you want to choose specific companies, you can buy individual ESG stocks. Focus on renewable energy, electric vehicles, clean technology. But attention, research the ESG score first. Greenwashing is real. Companies lie. For sustainable fixed income, there are green bonds. Returns similar to traditional bonds, between 3 and 6% per year. Low risk, especially government bonds. Golden rules. Always verify the ESG score using sites like MSCI. Beware of greenwashing. Diversify. Don't put everything in one sector. Think long-term. ESG is a decades game and align with your values. Now comes the most important part, timing. ESG is where crypto was in 2015. Early enough to win big, but not so early that it's pure speculation. Between 2026 and 2030, ESG regulations will be mandatory globally. Non-ESG companies will lose access to capital. Carbon taxes will force changes. Between 2030 and 2040, only sustainable companies will survive. And here's the brutal truth. You're not saving the planet by investing in ESG. The planet will save itself. You're positioning yourself financially for the inevitable future. Polluting companies will go broke, will be fined to death. But sustainable companies will dominate. And you can be on the right side of history and the right side of profit. Imagine explaining to your grandchild in 2050 that you knew about climate change but invested in oil anyway, or that you saw the opportunity, invested in clean energy, and helped build a better future. Which story do you want to tell? So, recapping, ESG surpassed $1 trillion in investments. ESG companies perform equal or better. Millennials and Gen Z are demanding this. Governments are forcing this. The future is sustainable, whether you like it or not. You have three choices: ignore all this and watch your portfolio wither, stay in doubt and miss the opportunity, or act, research, allocate to ESG, and be positioned for the future. ESG isn't charity. It's not activism. It's the future of capitalism. And when the future arrives, you want to be ready. The choice is yours. But remember, in 10 years, everyone will be investing in ESG. The question is, did you get in when it was early or when it was already late? If this video changed your perspective, leave a like. Comment, do you already invest in ESG? Subscribe to the channel because I'll keep showing the best opportunities of the future. ESG isn't hype, it's inevitable, and you just discovered how to profit from it.